Good evening, good evening, good evening. Noswaitha, Noswaitha. Here we are again on Puzzle Combat. I am just doing all my sort of standard what do we do, dads, as I'm collecting stuff up. Here we go. You can see I've got some training schools to collect. I'll worry about them later on. They're enough to sort of just be ticking over at the moment. We are looking today at an alliance war, and this is part of my sort of beginners series as to what you get when you join an alliance. And one of the things you got, I'm just shuffling this out of the way, is alliance wars. Now, alliance wars, you have to be to a certain level on the game before you can compete. I can't remember what that level is. It's level 10, possibly. It's not super high anyway. It won't take you too long to get there. Certainly it's one I have always taken part since when they introduced it. Alliance Wars are one of the main reasons why it's worth keeping heroes. Somebody asked me about why you keep duplicate heroes and so on and so forth. Keep them for Alliance Wars. It's one of the main reasons you are going to need them. Alliance Wars are 6 attacks, and you will need, therefore, 30 heroes. 30 ideally leveled up heroes. The stronger the better. It's worth keeping them, and that's why I have. So here is our war. Now what you get is you get a screen like this. Now let's just quickly go back to actually just start with alliances. So I've mentioned alliances before. You join an alliance, you get to hit war machines. You also get to take part in wars. When you come to final alliance, you sort of pick. You can look for the alliances. These are some of the ones at the top. The A team is who we're fighting against. We'll talk about them. So if you clicked on the A team, you can see they've got 29 out of 30 members. Their team leader is Earloby. You can see all the names of their players. And you can also see that the score is a mixture of their alliance, the number of their trophies, the power of their teams, and how many raids they've won. You'd need 1,000 trophies to join this alliance, so it's not an alliance for sort of brand new players, but it's 1,000 trophies is doable, and you'll probably find there's players. No, they're all above 1,000. I was going to say you often find some players sort of join an alliance and then will drop below the membership requirement, but no, you don't automatically get kicked or anything like that. You'll see it says type of alliance open, and that means you can just click on the alliance and you press join, and then you're in the alliance. Really helpful. If you are, let's see, actually I think Blood, Sweat and Beers, yeah, invite only. So Blood, Sweat and Beers is the first #1 alliance in the world. They've been that way more or less for the last 6 months, something like that, probably longer. You'll see this one, it says invite only. Invite only is a really misleading term. It actually should, to my way of thinking, it should say by request. You don't have to be invited, you just have to, you would click on the alliance and then you would click request join. You don't see a request join thing come up for me because I'm in an alliance at the moment, which I'm not going to leave now because it would mess up the alliance war that I'm just about to take part in, and that'd be stupid. So, and here's my alliance. I'm 5th in the world, Elite Strike Force, with Juxtaposed Camel as our team leader. Now, when it comes to doing an alliance war, the main thing most alliances will expect you to do is to use all 6 attacks that you get. So if you look at the moment, you can see up in the top left corner of the screen, there's a little green lightning bolt with the number 3 next to it. You get 3 attacks for the first 24 hours and then get another 3 attacks at the 12-hour mark. If you don't use the first 3, you can still use all 6 at once in the second half of the war. And some people like to do that. One tactic is for everybody to try and attack all at once at the end of the war, and that can be quite effective. We don't do it because our alliance is sort of fairly spread globally. Works best if everybody's in the same time zone. Or nearly the same time zone, which we aren't. So we can go, I've ticked participate. If you don't want to do a war, it's best, you'll often find people say opt out, and that means deselect participate. You can see it underneath our little alliance button. I just pressed on there, it says participate. And then you've got the battlefield option there in a minute, which we'll go to in a second. It's also worth just noticing at the bottom here of my chat, you can see that Juxtaposed Camel has said multicoloured tanks. Wow, nice. And we'll talk about that in just a second. So you go into the war. Here is your battlefield. You'll see my alliance is arrayed with the blues at the bottom. Whichever alliance you're in, you're always the blues. You're never the reds. You're always the enemies, always the reds. And you'll see a load of screens. You'll see some of the alliances have, some of the members have got just skulls. So like Mendez here, his team has been wiped out. Nothing you can do about that. That's just he's been attacked, and often you'll find everyone gets attacked and wiped out. You want to have the strongest defense team you can, but it doesn't really matter too much. So you want to have the strongest defense team you can, but you're still probably going to get wiped out. Don't take it personally. AMG here is down to 1 hero, and you've got some other people like Rip Roar here is down to 2, and you'll probably find the other side. They don't look quite the same. At the moment, it's very, very early in the war, so if I click on my alliance, I can see that we've got 76 world energy left, and they have got 67. So they've attacked a few more times than us, and like with most wars, you tend to have the strongest teams get knocked off first. In terms of the attacking, the reason, if you look at our alliance, we have all got red tanks. So you can see the tank is the central hero. We have all got red tanks. Now, the theory behind that is that when you attack, you are more likely than not to go in with a team that will be strong against the enemy tank. So if I was to attack Smolder McCheese, I would probably take a purple tank because he has got three purple heroes because he's got a yellow tank. If I was to attack, say, Fairbod, I would go in with red tanks because she's got green tank, three red heroes because she's got green tank, and so on and so forth. And that's really why. If you all have red tanks, then they would be looking to attack us with blue heroes, most likely. But then if somebody attacks me with 3 blue heroes, and then they attack Failure with 3 blue heroes, and then they attack Juxtaposed Camel with 3 blue heroes. Most players by this point will have run out of blue heroes, or run out of decent, like fully equipped, leveled up blue heroes, I should say. And that makes it really hard. So that is why a lot of alliances do this tactic, wherein you have all of your heroes, all of the tanks are the same colour, and that works really well. It makes it much harder for you to for an enemy team to break down your alliance. And it's quite unusual to see a team that doesn't actually has mixed coloured tanks, but that's quite nice. So let's say I wanted to hit Smolder McCheese. I'd click on Smolder McCheese and click attack. I can look at his team. I probably will in just a second, see just double check what he's got. And excuse me, give me a cough there. Let's see. I'm not going to take my sort of very, very best team, but I might take. Let's chuck in a Dougal. Checking the Dougal. So when I click on Smolder McCheese, I can see his team power there, 3327 up in the top corner. You can see he's got a yellow tank. He's got a range of heroes. He's got, what does this blue lady do? Banshee. Just quickly check in. He's got no healer, which can be quite good. I can't remember if this war is. What's this war? It's Field Aid. Wars, you always get I'll tell you. Hang on, I'll stop talking a sec. If you look at the very top of the wars chart where it says Smolder McCheese, the A team, you see a little bar and a red cross with a cross underneath. This is a Field Aid war, and that means that the enemy get healed, that you get a healing boost. When that red bar is full, all of their heroes automatically get a bit of extra healing. It's annoying, I'll be honest. Field Aid is the most annoying of the war things, but at the same time, they will get it fighting us as well. So it's annoying for us, but it's annoying for them too. So you always try and remember that they've got to deal with the same thing that we're dealing with, because it is a bit infuriating. So you'll see that the purple tile tactic quickly got rid of their tank, because their tank's weakest against purple. Rocky, who is the next guy standing there, is not weak against purple, and so he is going to put up a lot more of a fight. And as my Rocky blinded their Rocky, and vice versa. Bit of damage there. Edge has put a bit of poison down on everyone. And blow this grenade. Boom! And lots of other sound effects as it all goes off. I yeah, Hollywood style sound effects there, as I always like to put in my videos. Now, Talia, I chose Talia deliberately because she is a debuffer, and that means that if Flint was still alive with his counterattack up, she could remove it. He is dead though, which is quite convenient for me. I can do this move, that should take out their Rocky. I'm keeping quite a close eye on the one I would argue is most dangerous at the moment, which is it Emma? What's her name? Emma, yeah. So let's try and get rid of Emma. Hopefully she's out of the way. Not going to be able to stop Astrid from going off. Just have to accept it's going to happen. The burn damage is going to be annoying. I don't know if Dougal removes burn damage. I'm going to hope he does, because otherwise somebody's going to burn to death, probably Edge. You'll see now as well, it doesn't remove but it does regenerate health. The bar at the top starts to fill up more quickly. The field aid bar, you can see how much it jumped then. Once you get further into the war, when there's only one enemy left, that bar at the top fills up quicker. So it gets faster and faster and faster, depending on how many enemy heroes are left. And once it's down to one, it fills up really, really quickly, which is what it's obviously doing right now. So it's now 2 turns to recharge, so that means she heals every 2 turns to make it harder for you to finish off the last enemy hero, which luckily I was able to do there. So Smolder McGee's is down. Bye-bye, Smolder McGee's. Okay, so that's what I will do now then. Now, this is where it works in my favour, really, is now I don't need to think about using purple heroes again as tanks. I can use a different colour, which I'm also fairly strong in. So I might, let's have a look. Yeah, I go first. Isco Bar. Let's hit Isco Bar. So they have got a purple tank, so this time I'll go with yellow heroes. So I will probably go with 3 yellow heroes. Again, I don't want to go sort of mad and use up my strongest heroes of every colour at once. Let's go with 3 yellows and a couple. This is quite, as I say, it's quite nice to be able to sort of have the luxury of being able to choose your targets, a healer and a weakener. I think that will do me. So I will go in with 3 yellow heroes, a red and a green, and the 3 yellows being very strongest. Hopefully I won't get an awful screen with no yellows on it, but never mind, I have. So clearing a sort of gap for my yellows to actually do anything is one of my main objectives now, and it's not going to happen, which is really quite infuriating, but never mind. Let's try and get this. You can see the massive amount of damage the yellow tiles do, which is quite nice. Come on, give me a... Yes, that's what I was looking for. Ooh, I'm amazed that their Orochi withstood that. I really am. How did he withstand that? Oh, it missed. Finally rid of their Orochi. I thought that was just not going to happen then for a minute. I was like, what? What's going on? You'll see the field aid kicked in there, helped them out a bit. Lot there puts their armour down, which is quite good when I'm going to then hit them with... what's his name? Stone, Mr. Gunman. This red hero, I can't think of her name off the top of my head. She will kill herself. There we go. As will that one. Or no, not quite killed herself. I don't have... oh, healer. That's always handy. This blue guy might well kill himself as well. Oh, running out of battery. Probably as well that I'm nearly at the end of the video. Falcon Bing Bong Boom. Yeah, he's killed himself. That's the beauty of the counter-attack, that right there when you're dealing with heroes who can otherwise mess you around quite a lot, and why counter-attackers are really useful. And ooh, there we go. Field aid is now going to be my my issue, because field aid will keep their Tila alive, as will Tila herself, as that is her job, being a healer and all that. Alright, tons of yellows. Probably be enough, I would hope, between all of these bits to nearly finish off. No, not quite. and somebody missed again. Did they miss? She dodged. Sorry, she dodged. And boom, 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 boom. There we are. There we are. So Escobar is down. Bye-bye, Escobar. And then I could look for one more enemy team to sort of have a crack at. Let me see. I'm just working my way across. Not really sure what I'm looking for, in fairness. I'm just kind of looking. I'm going to go for Stevie Boy. Stevie Boy can be hit with some blues. I've got a few blues here. Bomb. And again, I'm going to use 3 stars as backup. I do have a spam. Oh, do you know, I can't. No, I won't use Magnus. No, I'm going to risk this one without a healer then, which is always a risk, but hey ho. Green and just try to choose somebody else to back things up a little bit. I tell you what, I will take an attack booster in the shape of Famke. Oh yeah, of course. I was about to say I haven't got a healer, but I've got Bridget, who is a blue armor booster, come healer, come whatever you want to call it. Right then. Oh no, hang on, I can do 5 in a row blue. That's quite handy. Although there's still not very many blue tiles on the screen, which is less handy. The zombie heroes are quite annoying because they can come back to life when they get killed, which is obviously not good news. Ooh, somebody's dead. Didn't even realise it killed them. Yeah, so the zombie heroes come back to life, and where was I going with that? Yeah, so even if I kill Spud here, he may well then sort of jump right back at me. Although in fairness, I'm not going to be killing him anytime soon, given my woeful lack of blue tiles. Field aid will kick in there. This is getting annoying. There we are. 2 blue tiles there. You'll see the damage they did. Spud is a good hero. The zombie, the 4-star zombie here is all quite good. Spud and Lindsay. Noticeable, like most good heroes, I don't have them. Boom! Oh, nuts. So this is not going so well. Right. I don't really... Rana has got her counter-attack thing up, so this will probably kill Victoria, because, yeah, I was going to say, she's almost certainly going to hit Rana with those attacks, but at the same time, I'd rather she did. Now, on this one, much more likely than on any of the other raids so far, it looks as if I am going to lose, which is a shame, because I was doing quite well. It's nice to get as many... You get points for finishing off an enemy team, and less points if you don't, funnily enough. But this then will sort of hopefully give me a chance to explain the next bit of the Alliance War. So winning is good, obviously. If you knock out an enemy team, that's a good thing and something you want to hope for. But it is not the end of the world. Oh, hang on. I haven't yet. Ooh, knocked my thing. I thought I'd killed my screen. That would have been bad. Knives and Honor Slasher. I'm probably, yeah, I was going to say it's going to kill them both. There we are. That's that. So I didn't win. But what you will see is, because it's an Alliance War, I've earned my team 23 points. And those 23 points mean that firstly, I've earned 23 points, which is going to go to the Alliance score. And secondly, you'll see that Stevie Boy has now got a weakened team. And that means that somebody else on my Alliance could pick Stevie Boy off. So it might be that somebody else who hasn't got a full team of strong heroes could say, well, I've got a few weaker heroes, let's just take Stevie Boy out. And that's really the beauty of Alliance Wars. It's a team effort. It's not just about what I can do. It's about the rest of my Alliance now stepping up and finishing somebody off, which hopefully they will do. You can see there is a top attackers thing. It doesn't really make any difference whether you're the top attacker or the weakest. What actually is more useful is to be on the winning side. It really is a whole Alliance team game, and you'll see most players haven't hit yet anyway. So there we go. So that's 3 hits, 2 aces, as I call them, knocking out teams in 1 hit. and one sort of I've taken out the tank and one other hero and weakened them up for somebody else to finish off. So somebody else on my alliance will hopefully be able to finish Stevie Boy off fairly soon. And that is the sort of an alliance war in a nutshell. Now in 12 hours, in 10.5 hours, I will get some more world energy and we'll be able to attack again. But until that time, there's nothing much I can do. I can just watch what everybody else is up to, see how it goes. I mean, there's not really much point. I can't influence it anyway. So in that sense, I will leave it now and come back in 12 hours to use my next 3 attacks, or 12 hours or thereabouts. And then whichever alliance has the most points wins. The more points you have, whoever's got the more points wins. You get some rewards for winning. You get some rewards for losing as well, but the rewards are obviously better for winning. And the really good thing you get from an alliance war is every time you can see there's a war chest up here. When that war chest is full and you can claim your war chest, that almost always gives some really good loot. So you really want to go for the war chest. They are excellent. And that is the best thing about Alliance Wars, is the war chest at the end of it. That's really what you want to hold out for. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. Somebody did ask if I could do a video just trying to explain Alliance Wars a little bit. There is more to it than that in terms of the tactics and... So not so much the tactics, more the strategy. The tactics is what you do on your own attacks. The overall war strategy is how your alliance choose to play them. And some alliances have sort of like, cleaners, who are players who pick off who finish off weaker teams. And it might be you can have players who are half and half, and you'll have players who are going for big attacks and knocking out tanks. And so there's lots of different things, but that's the main point on an alliance war. Anyway, it just remains for me to say, please remember to like, share, comment and subscribe. Hope everybody's doing very well in these turbulent times. May death come swiftly to your enemies. This is Farmer Ben saying good evening. Good evening.